Well guys, it's been a while, and I've got a story to tell. So let's get caught up on the debacle of the chrome plating on the Beatnik Bandit clone project. So, around, let me see, 5 or 6 months ago, well, a lot longer than that, I had this fellow that wanted to be the chrome plate guy on the Beatnik Bandit clone project and the Indian Larry chopper project. And I think I'd give a new guy a chance, somebody who's trying to build up a business or something. So I gave him a nice bunch of chrome for the front end of the Beatnik Bandit. The whole front suspension is chrome plated on the car. And after about 2 months, I'm like, so how's my stuff coming? Everything's coming out great. Looks beautiful. I'm sanding off all the casting marks. Yeah. Around 3 months, I'm like, well, you know, I kind of need my stuff back if it's done or not. Now, this is not my first rodeo. I've built show cars before. I've been building motorcycles since I'm a kid. And I know how long it takes to do chrome. Even if a shop is overwhelmed and has unreasonable amount of business for whatever reason, I usually get a phone call or an email saying, hey, we're running really behind, don't mean to keep you waiting, but, you know, and I'm like, okay, I'm very understanding about that. But I was told everything's coming out great, everything's going good. So I drive all the way back down to Tulsa, Oklahoma, to pick up my stuff. And I would have to say 80% of it wasn't even done or started. And the 20% that was, I had to take probably 15% of that and send it out to get re-chromed because there were sand scratches in the chrome. I could see where the chrome didn't cover the nickel and there was still that yellow nickel plating flashing through. So I'm not going to mention who it is or anything like that. I'm not trying to air dirty laundry. I'm just trying to give you guys an explanation as to why nothing has happened. Why the project has come to a screeching halt. Because I'm sitting next to the frame right here, and I can finish putting the rear axle together, but it's kind of moot because I have no front end to put in the car to roll around, and I'm not going to put a motor and training in the car when I can't move it around. You know, all that weight and everything. So I'm kind of at a standstill. I did take the 4 headlights that were actually 57 Oldsmobile parking lights. I sent them to Paul's Chrome in Evans City, Pennsylvania, a place I've used over and over and over again. When I did the Mega Cycle, I restored that. I restored the Druid Princess when I built the Outlaw clone. I get my stuff back from them like clockwork, 6 to 8 weeks. So I sent those out to them. Just to give you guys an idea, you know, those are quite small, and you'll see them in a future episode here. $1,000 plus $30 shipping to chrome plate those 4 pieces. The rest of the front end stuff I had to resend out. I sent that to Mara Polishing and Plating in Newark, New Jersey, a place that when I was working with Paul Cox and Indian Larry in the Lower East Side of New York City, that's where they sent all their stuff, and Paul Cox still sends chrome there, and they do great work. So they're doing the front end for the Beatnik Bandit clone. The upper control arms, I brought, when I knew I was going to get stiffed from the first guy from Tulsa, I took the upper control arms, I had those rebuilt. That cost $1,000 there also. And I brought them to a local guy named D-Tray Chrome Plating here in Kansas City to have them chrome plated. But he's been backlogged because the other chrome shop, Performance Chrome, went out of business. I've dealt with them before, and to be honest, good riddance. But Bob up at D-Tray is a solid guy. They do very nice work also. But he's swamped with the overflow of work that he's getting from the people that used to go to the Kansas side of Kansas City to Performance. Understandable, he's got a lot of work. I should be getting those upper control arms back. It's been 2 months. I should be getting them back in the next week or 2. This being July 3rd, as I'm starting to film this next episode. I still have lots of chrome to do, but that stuff's really important because it gets this thing back rolling on its own 4 wheels and I can put the motor in. I've been neglecting doing the body and body work because next week here in Kansas City it's going to be triple digits. It's going to be 100 degrees or 98 degrees. I do not fare well. I'm an alpine people. I do cold like a fish in the water. I do that great. But hot, I don't do so well. So I'm not really too hip on grinding fiberglass. But I can't keep you guys hanging anymore. The guy from Tulsa that stiffed me on the chrome, he didn't just screw me over, he screwed all of you guys out there too, because you've been waiting for the next episode. So that's where I'm at. I'm back again now. I am about, let me see, 5.5 months in the hole. That's half a year. I got screwed for half a year, 6 months, by this fella, because it's not just the time he ate up. Now I got to repack everything and send it off to somebody else to do. It's not even a money thing at this point. I just want my shit back so I can keep the project moving, because I feel bad that I'm hanging you guys up, because I know you like watching this stuff, or otherwise I wouldn't keep doing it. And I do appreciate the feedback and the positive comments. I really do. And again, to explain why I haven't done anything on the Indian Larry bike, it's because I'm funneling all the time and money into this. And like I had just said, those 4 headlight things cost me $1,000. So it's not cheap doing chrome plating. It's not cheap, you know, buying good booze or good steak. You know what I mean? So I guess that's all. I just wanted to give you guys, I felt obligated to give you guys an explanation as to the how and why and everything. So I'm going to jump into the spray booth with my sleeves cut off and my short pants, and I'll deal with the consequences. I got to start grinding some fiberglass and gluing some stuff together and do something to move the project forward, because I can't sit on my hands anymore. So let's get to work, mates, shall we? All right, gang. I don't really know where else to go with this whole episode or anything, so I'm just going to show you some of the stuff I got to do. I got this bracket I made, which holds the hinges for the bubble, and that sits in the body right over here. And what I've done is I've gone around it with a Sharpie, and you guys have seen me do this a gazillion times before, but I got to show you, something. It's been a while since I made an episode for the Beatnik Bandit. I got to show you something. I feel obligated. I know you guys are waiting, but what I got to do is just clean this bracket up a little bit. I got to, in my shorts, and 90-degree weather yet, mind you. I got to grind the fiberglass back and make it accept new glass. I'm going to lay down to bury this and encase it down there. So that's what I got to do. So let's do it, right? Fiberglass in, because in the ends I got these bolts holding it down to the body. And I'll wait now, because I'll come back out tomorrow, 4th of July, and I will unbolt this side and fiberglass that the other side, and we'll keep going. But because of these tabs here, this isn't going to go anywhere. It's not going to shift this way around, because with these tabs sticking up, I do one side and the other side, so on and so forth. That'll stay pretty good. And the vapors are strong. So Like I say, I'll let that cure. We'll come back out tomorrow. We'll knock out the rest of it, and I'll figure out what else I can do, you know, while we wait for chrome. All right, gang. This is all cured up in the center, and the bolts I had on the ends hold it down. Well, she sits pretty good there. I took the bolts out, and I put tape on the bottom for the holes that are drilled. That'll collect all the resin and stuff. And I'll make the other side smooth, which is nice. So what we got to do now is I got some strips cut, and we're going to do the ends. And that's that. So I got my gippity goppity goop mixed up. Let's go ahead and do what we do. That's it, guys. So, well, obviously this is cured. I got the two ends done. They got a cure. So tomorrow, the next day, I'll come out here and just scope things out. Because I know I was shoving the brush in here. I got a captive nut here that I welded to the plate. I'll run a thread chaser through there and clean up any of the fiberglass resin I might have got in my threads, because it would suck to find that out later on when you're trying to put this thing together when she's painted. But that's that, that's done. I'll save my scraps, and yeah, like I said, we'll come back and clean this up. We'll turn the body back right side up, or versa versa, and we'll keep going and start grinding some fiberglass so we can prep for body work. Well, gang, I figure we'll put the rear axles back in the housing. I got the hinge all done. I need to have somebody come over and help me put the body right side up and get it back on my big dolly so I can start grinding the fiberglass, because you know how excited I am to do that. So I figure in the meantime we'll do this. I have all the stuff to do it because I was still waiting on chrome until lunch at work today. I got a phone call from a local chrome guy. Those upper control arm shock things are ready to pick up. So it's not everything. I'm still waiting for the guys in Jersey to get all the lower A-frames and the rest of the front end parts. But hey, something's better than nothing, right? So we might as well start getting this thing so it can roll on its own wheels. That's what we're doing here. I got new gaskets and stuff from, I think it was Fusk. They deal in Oldsmobile junk, and it's a lot easier just to go to them and pay the price and try and hunt down a deal, because I know they got it, comes in the mail right away, and it's a good deal for me. So, and I'm using this old Permatex. I remember using this stuff, Permatex aviation stuff, when I worked on Volkswagen with my dad, using them to seal the engine blocks and stuff. This is my my take-back memory. So, we'll get that goobered up good. We get the backing plate over there. Give me one sec. Alright, we'll smack this bad boy on now. We got another gasket up here. Oh, right here, I got it. And I realize this is nothing special, it's really quick. I already got the other side done. But these are all the little things you got to do when you build these stupid cars. And I didn't buy new axle bearings and stuff because, you know, where's this car going, right? But I don't want it to be puking out differential fluid on a nice concrete floor, like if I was at San Antonio or Detroit in Cobo Hall or something. So we replace the gaskets and clean everything up nice. All right, now I'm gonna slide this toothpick back in. And I did chase those threads ahead of time, so there'd be no problems now. And I got nice new shiny nuts. I have nice new shiny nuts. And I guess that's going to be it for right now. Like I say, I do a little bit after work every day. It's not a whole lot, but it steps in a forward motion. So what do you think, huh? We finally got some chrome back after that Tulsa, Oklahoma chrome plating debacle. So I brought these up to my local guy when I knew that the guy in Oklahoma wasn't going to be able to follow through with his promises and everything. So I waited a while to get these back, and I didn't mind because I knew they'd be a pain in the ass to chrome plate. And I wanted to make sure that they came out because I had the set that was on the frame when I got it, but this side here, this one, I had to heat this thing up cherry red just to get these arms to move so I could build the car at ride height when I did all the plaster and fiberglass work. So then I had to buy a rebuildable set of cores off the internet. Then I had to take that rebuildable set of cores and have them sent out to be rebuilt. So I had like, before I got them chrome plated, over $1,000 in just these two pieces. Chrome plating, we're looking at about $500 for the pair, and trust me, that's a screaming deal. I spend an awful lot of money with this chrome guy. So I don't know if he hooked me up or not, but these things are absolutely gorgeous. And he really he did them assembled, which was my big peeve because I didn't want to have them. Plus, they're welded together like right here on the front of these arms. So they got to be done assembled. And I'll bring them up to the camera and show you how great they are. And I think they just look great. You know, inside all these nooks and crannies. He even did the bottom. I told him he didn't have to. And it just looks awesome. It's a freaking jewel. And it really is like building a giant model kit. So I'm super ecstatic, I'm happy. We got chrome, we got chrome. So, and I'm just letting them sit on top of the frame here. You know, inspiration and all that, because I have just lost so much steam on this project after 7 years. This is definitely a shot of adrenaline, I can tell you that. But let's get back to what we're working on and make something happen. So I did notice, you know, the original Beatnik Bandit was restored by Harris way back in the 80s there in the 1900s. So they didn't really, you know, I don't know how they ran the brake lines so much as to, I'm figuring how Ed did it, you know, and I'm betting Ed didn't have one of those cool little benders and stuff to make nice tight bends and have it look really like, you know, on the money and everything. So I'm betting he just bent everything by hand. And it's very vague looking at some of the photographs and stuff, at least that I have access to. So that's what I'm doing. And I still think, I mean, you can't see it because of the pan-hard bar and everything, but I'll pop the camera up. I'll give you a quick glance. But anyway, that's what we're doing. And I'm running the brake lines now for the back at least, because like I say, it's something to do. So, and you know, this is just how I'm doing it. I'm getting that good guesstimation thing going on. And this is how I figured Ed did it. You know, just without kinking the line, just a wee bit at a time. You know, just keep checking it and going back and forth like that. Hey, yes, by hand, I don't think that's too shabby of a bend, right? So, plus it makes me feel like I'm the Hulk. So let's see what we got. that's not so bad now. And you saw me hitting with the rubber hammer. I got these factory tabs on the rear axle here. And there's another guy right there. So I was tapping that down to hold the brake line in place. And I got the, this is actually the block that came off the axle. I cleaned it up and I wire wheeled it and hit with some spray can clear. But yeah, I think it looks pretty good. And that's what Ed would have done. He would have bent stuff by hand. And I always love fresh paint with new parts and shiny things, boy. It always looks good, doesn't it? So there you go, man. We're going to actually try and get the brakes to work on this thing. And I'm going to have to wait for to get the motor and tranny in to get the shifter mechanism I made for the Moonstick with the brake master on it. And then I can run the lines up here and all the rest of them.